No.
Brown 45. Brown 45. Hot, 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 hot.
Seven hours of commercial-free football start now.
We're back. I am miserable. I am cursing franchises left, right, and center. I lost my 16th, my 15, my 14, and my 13 all this week. I am highest in wins, but I'm 40 points behind Robert because I can't make up ground because I have yet to win big games this entire season. And I'm pulling an audible this week. I am just if I curse franchises, I'm going to curse franchises. I'm being completely just the meanest I possibly can, and I'm going for people's throats because if I can't win points, I will just curse them. We are here. We will go through our winners and losers. We will go through power rankings. We will pick our games. Scully has been fed, so he will be in a good mood. First up, Nazario.
Yo.
What's up? How are you? Don't talk. You can use it as your winner or loser, but how are you?
I don't know, man. Half the team is in the fucking hospital. One is flying to fucking Germany to see if he can play at all this year. It's not good. You can count on one thing. Fucking CMC went to see a specialist in Germany because his fucking Achilles is fucked. The one thing you can count on with the Niners is that they beat the Rams. We couldn't beat the Rams. So I don't even know what to expect for this season. I don't even know if we're going to beat the fucking Patriots this week. So,
fair. Mark, sup?
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, same here. I can't really pick a lot of big games, but I picked the Colts to win. I felt pretty good about that. And you all thought that the Titans would beat the Packers for some reason. That was dumb. Feeling pretty good about that.
Yeah, we tried to make logic happen of it. We didn't. Good job. Two people that are still happy on this call. One person's got to be in total disarray right now. Scully, I like you as much as Caleb Williams likes his O-line. How are you?
Football's boring anyway. I was thinking about getting into some pickleball, maybe. Professional pickleball.
Big black man coming in hot this year.
But no, look, I love Caleb Williams. I think he is doing the very best he can behind that Swiss cheese flaccid offensive line. I have no doubt that, again, he'll be fine. It was nice seeing Odunze go for 115 yards.
I don't know why you're using this as like your time to talk about it, but I'm asking how you are. You can use that as your winner and loser in a second. I'm just asking how you are.
I don't know. It's same shit, different anus, different year. Offensive line sucks. What's new?
Fair. I think both are surprises. I think both would be surprised to sit here at 3-0. One more than the rest, just with how the division, how the three games that they had to play. So arguably, Coho, if I hear anything besides great, I'm really confused.
I feel great. I'm riding the high. This high will end eventually.
When are you going to say
enjoy it while it lasts? What?
When are you going to say thank you?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, bright hands.
I believe I played a strong factor in in this team doing anything.
Bright hands. Thank you. Big Reach.
And Pittsburgh going to the Super Bowl. He completed a pass, but how are you?
Three up on the Bengals. What's not to love? Fuck those guys. Rolling.
Okay, so we did do something. We will probably do it next week. So think about this week while these weeks are playing. Come back with your own personal grades for the first 4 weeks of football, how you felt those games were, looking back on them. We'll try to find out what the best week of football was for the week. I would be shocked if Scully did not pick the first week. The rest were F's, but we'll get there.
I mean, in reality, week 1 probably had the most exciting games, to be honest.
That's true. Week 3 rankings. Mark is taking he did best week 3. We laughed at him and said, "What are you talking about? Are you dumb? Titans, they know Malik Willis, blah, blah, blah." Me and Robert are attached at the hip. We continue to be attached at the hip. We finished the same record, but he just scores more points than me. And Scully and Nazario are in the fucking basement. Overall, where the points really matter, because we are doing confidence, we are pretty tight up there. Everybody's surrounded by 20, and then Robert is clearly 21 points ahead of me. And then our overall record, Robert is 1 game back for me. And then Mark is still in the game, 28-19. He was one of the best picks. He was one of the best pickers last year for the longest time until he started dying at the end. But
this thing is what I like. Middle of the road. Why the fuck am I in the toilet in the points?
Yeah, because you just not picking great things. I don't know what to tell you. Okay, so winners and losers. I command this ship, so I go first. My winner is the Green Bay Packers. The Green Bay Packers are my winner because I think this team is doing this with Malik Willis. They're doing this with Malik Willis, which out. And I don't know what a bigger fuck you in the entire world is than to trade a 7th round pick. I don't know what the pick was.
It was a
7th round pick to the Titans and say, "Hey, we'll take him." Titans be like, "Yeah, fucking have him. Not our guy." And then him to put on that uniform, learn the offense or do the simple offense, whatever you want to call it, and just run it down your fucking throat and give you no. Every team made the Titans defense look strong. They did. That front 7, look at this team, look at all this. That was neutralized on Sunday. The Green Bay Packers let nothing. I think that first game especially is just off location, doesn't hold a lot of weight that the Eagles beat them. Because I think if that game is played in the States on normal field, either in Lincoln or Lambeau, I think that's a different matchup. I think the Packers could have won that game. Because I don't hold a lot of weight when you play international games and stuff like that. Because there's travel. What was your flights, your prep time, the field itself, everything like that. But I don't know how the winner is not the Green Bay Packers right now. My loser is this poor, pathetic fan base known as the Chicago Bears. Holy shit. How many excuses does you guys fucking need? It's, load it up. Who's got a better situation? We've increased our O-line. Look at our tackles. Look at this. We've got a run game. No better. Caleb Williams, what? Our defense? Holy shit, you guys suck. It goes from this to there's no protection to Eberflus is a bad head coach to there's countless excuses are matching up for why Chicago's not doing it. Hey, maybe, just maybe, your franchise sucks. Your franchise sucks at developing players. If you wanted a clean start, you fucked Justin Fields over. You threw him out of town like there was nothing to. You gave him a shit O-line, but he happened to escape the pocket and get out of shit. He did that all year long last year because you gave him the same O-line. But then you're like, oh man, if we give Fat Keenan Allen and we give DJ Moore and we give Cole Kmet and holy shit, we get DeAndre Swift. The Eagles didn't want him. We'll take him. Motherfucker got 20 yards rushing last week, 13 rushes. He can't move out of the pocket. You guys run option on the goal line with an O-line that is non-existent. So I just don't. One, I think you may again. Now it's on Eberflus. It was on the O line. Now it's on Eberflus. The next week it will be on the old bitch that's running the franchise. It will be the parking lot attendant the next time. It will be the guy
that's a jackass.
It will be the guy that delivers popcorn to the one person he interfered with, Caleb Williams. Holy shit. I mean, I've claimed some quarterbacks to be absolute ass before, and I've been right and I've been wrong. I've never thought Caleb Williams is that good of a quarterback. He played against soft-ass teams in the Pac-12. That's why there's not really all-star caliber that come from the Pac-12. There isn't. And now you get this guy, and it's not. So I just don't know how many more excuses. But, yeah, I love that I kept it interdivision, Green Bay Packers. Dang.
Spencer, you don't know what a football is. Leave the show.
Where did you
This is not about lacrosse.
Why are you here of all
This show is not about lacrosse. You have no business being here.
We're crossing over. This is great.
So yeah, those are my winners. Losing any feedback, and I'm expecting to get one pushback. But go ahead.
I mean, I won't say much except that we've allowed the least passing yards the first 3 weeks. So defense is a bunch of studs. As for everything else, I mean, I have no argument otherwise except for 363 yards in your third game as a pro is pretty freaking good.
Okay, hold on. I knew that was going to be your pushback. That was garbage time. Can we? Why can't he throw to the left? Why can't he throw to the left side of the field?
He did. His first big throw to Odunze was on the left side.
Did you see his interceptions?
Yeah, one of them was a bad throw. The other one was because Odunze couldn't haul it in.
Oh my god! Okay, but I'm saying yes. So my thing is, he's gotten 300 yards passing. He's had to chunk it because he can't run. So those are where your yards are going to come from.
The whole team can't run. It's not just him.
But yeah, so they can't run, so they have to throw. So that's where all the yards. Okay, I think we're in a Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud world, and we may be.
No. Bryce never threw for 360 yards. Come on now.
Okay, if we're averaging it out, you got there, but
I have just one
your
question.
first 2 weeks, if we divide it by 3, your numbers aren't looking the hottest.
I just have one question for Scott.
Yes.
Do you still think this was the right call instead of keeping Fields and picking Marvin Harrison Jr.?
Okay, you are comparing somebody who has played 70 NFL games.
3-0. Right there.
Year 4, who has shown no drastic improvement in his play versus a kid who is in his third game as a pro. Are we really? This is the stupidest comparison in sports right now. And I knew it was going to happen the second he had any success in Pittsburgh. I knew people were going to react to it. I knew it was going to be a headline. I'm sleeping well. Because
it's immediately. Why is he 3-0 then?
He would be averaging like 110 yards a game.
Why is he 3-0? Why does
here's a better question. Here's a better question. Why is he starting?
What do you mean?
Why was the necessary, since you weren't picking up the option with Justin Fields, why not just keep Justin and sit Caleb to learn your system? So halfway through the season,
that Justin Fields would actually play.
Hold on, it's weird. I don't believe that I finished my statement. Hold on. So you let him sit there and you start him like week 12, week 13 of the season, and you get him that experience there. Instead, you're crushing this dude's confidence because he is on his ass every time he goes to throw the ball. Like, the Indianapolis Colts defense was terrible. It's been terrible. They looked like world beaters against you guys. That's a problem. So why ruin the rookie's confidence if he is supposed to be your face of the franchise? What is saving 1 year?
Tell me with a straight face that Justin Fields will actually play under those conditions, knowing that he would eventually be replaced. That's not practical.
Why wouldn't that?
Solution.
He's got a job. If not, you find his ass and he doesn't play. When did this become like, oh, I'm going to throw a tantrum? Okay, fine. Then start okay, I don't care, Justin Fields. Start the fucking backup. It doesn't matter who the human being is. Worst case scenario, you tank. You fucking tank, but you have Caleb Williams, and you get a stud offensive lineman next year.
Then you have basically the exact same thing happen to where he requests a trade, you ship him off.
Who?
Fields.
If Russ was starting Pittsburgh, probably Pittsburgh.
Okay, no. So I'd scratch that one. Justin Fields off the table. You just start the backup. What's the point? What's the point of sending him out there to just get destroyed?
Because he has the talent and he has the skill to help us
I would
win
love
games.
somebody to find me the numbers that a rookie quarterback out the start versus a quarterback that sits for the first year. I guarantee we've seen it multiple times that the success rate, even Patrick Mahomes fucking sat. Like
that was a different situation. We don't have.
Brady said it best on a podcast. He said, we're dumbing this game down and we're throwing in these rookies to unsuccessful situations and expecting them to be great. It's not going to be the situation.
I don't disagree with that, but that situation only works if you have a 30-plus-year-old veteran who can.
There are a bunch of those sitting in their house right now.
Start 17 games for you, and you have to be sure, especially now that you've built your team into a position where they can contend for a playoff spot for a division title. You have to be confident that that player gives you a better chance to win than the rookie does.
Do you have
no? Then you push the young guy out there.
We will move on after this, but I have one question. Do you have a fear that this year affects him moving forward from the okay?
Because he knew exactly what team he was getting into. Is he disappointed by the O-line play? Absolutely. Is he disappointed that he can't scramble as much as he could at USC? Absolutely. But if you saw what happened Sunday, he threw for 360 yards. He knows how to get the ball out. He knows how to get it to his guys. This game is the biggest stepping stone for him as a pro thus far.
Matt Ryan did not retire willingly. He would be playing for you for nickels.
But if you want. Okay, everybody. Okay. Anybody else on this subject before we move on to somebody else's?
Matt LaFleur, Coach of the Year, I guess. Right?
That was good.
Yeah,
that was good, Nazario.
100%.
Him and Kevin O'Connell are.
It depends how it depends how they play, like the rest of the season. Like
But yeah, I would agree. Those are the two. I would vote for LaFleur at this moment.
Yeah, he's had if anything, I think it just shows it's
coaching matters.
Yeah, that's the fact. Everybody threw off Sam Darnold. He is what he is. Kevin O'Connell knew exactly. Kevin O'Connell signed off on Sam Darnold coming in. Everybody else laughed at it, but he knew exactly what he was getting. He was a USC guy, wasn't he? He came from USC, right?
Mm-hmm.
He has that quarterback. They're a quarterback they may not do great all the time, but they at least know how to scout. They may not all pan out, but
according to him, he's been watching him since high school, and he liked him in high school, he liked him in college, and he's liked him at every stage, and no one's let him coach him. He's never gotten the chance.
I still maintain if he had waited an extra year before leaving USC, he'd be a much better quarterback than he is right
now. Okay. Let's go Mark's winner and loser.
All right. Yeah, I guess I'll just start off with I had the winner in my head and I just forgot. Okay, yeah, that's right. That's who the winner was. It's easy to forget because they played the Thursday night game, but yeah, they look very good doing it. My winner this week is the Jets.
Jets, Jets.
And I get it, they beat up on the Patriots. And I think we're going to see a lot of teams are going to beat up on the Patriots. But I think it's the way in which they beat up on the Patriots that kind of makes me pretty excited about this team because I think we all knew their defense was going to be good. They looked great on Thursday. But I think the thing that really impresses me in general is their offense and how it feels like it's operating at 75% capacity right now. And we just think if it just goes any higher than that, it's going to be they are just going to be a scary ass team. I mean, Aaron Rodgers put up maybe the most casual 280 I think I'd ever seen. Managed to get everybody involved. Mike Williams, Fucking Alan Lazard brought him back from the dead. Tyler Conklin's catching passes. They got two very capable running backs. Like it feels like the Jets can actually control the line of scrimmage this year. And the most frightening thing about them by far is they've been able to do this without really getting Garrett Wilson going. Like when they get Garrett Wilson going, that offense is going to be a scary fucking team.
I agree. Who's your loser?
I feel like there's a pretty clear loser, honestly, this week, and one of us is going to say it. It's Bryce Young. Bryce Young is the clear loser of this week. I mean, everybody was saying that he may or may not be the problem. I don't know. It looks like he's pretty clearly the fucking problem. Andy Dalton just lit up those bum fucking Raiders like it was nothing. We had fucking Kastner coming in and throwing shade at Deontay Johnson. Fucking Deontay Johnson looked fine on Sunday. Fucking nothing wrong there.
Just wait till he starts dropping passes, and then we'll see how it starts going.
It may not matter because they got Chuba Hubbard.
He's not used to people actually throwing the ball to him well.
I sat there last week. I sat there last week and had this thought in my brain. The Raiders aren't good. The Raiders aren't good. They played with their food. The Ravens played with their food last week. Andy Dalton is a veteran quarterback, and if you look around the weapons, even though Adam Thielen's leg, I think, exploded, I'm not sure what happened, but that was one of the – he looked in a lot of pain. But I was like, in my head, pick Carolina because Dalton is a veteran quarterback that can work in a system, and if he's been sitting back watching – and whoever shared it, I don't remember who shared it, but it was the Goodwill Hunting thing. Is like, you know how fucking easy this shit is for me? You know how easy this shit is? Like, this is fucking child's like Joe and Bryce Young just sitting there and again, Bryce Young. I'm with you on the Jets. I was high on the Jets. I 100% agree with you. The 280 looked very easy. It was very stupid for me. I picked the Patriots to keep it close. I thought it was going to be a defensive slug match. I thought it was going to go back and forth. Turned out not to be the case because I think I just love that all the media after it was problem with coach and because he didn't want to hug and stuff. I'm like, those two fucking weirdos you think are not buddies, shocking to nobody ever. And then, of course, Roger sells it off. So I think both yours are 100% accurate. I just thought you had a different loser, and I hope somebody brings them up because, oh, man, that stock is so, garbage at this point. But anybody else on Mark's?
Need to see the Jets beat a good team.
I agree.
When we do that, then I'll throw flowers. Not yet.
Yeah. I mean, Jets. I mean, my opinion of them hasn't really changed. Rodgers looked good; he looked a lot better. But I worry for Breece Hall fantasy managers. That was my takeaway from this game because Braylon Allen might be running back 1 in 2 years in the whole league.
He's from Wisconsin. He's a Badger, isn't he?
He is.
Yeah, they're built with quads the size of Texas and run through a brick wall. They're all
running backs on trees over there.
They just walk outside and pluck one down. Okay. Oh gosh, homework. Do we trust Coho with the assignment, or do we
winners anymore after last week?
Huh? He can't pick winners. That's fair.
I mean, you're going to be mad at my winner, but it's not a homer. It's not a homer pick.
You can't pick them again.
Pick who?
You can't pick anybody from the Minnesota Vikings.
It's not a Vikings pick at all.
Okay, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to see how you cook.
The Rams are huge.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
The Rams are big winners because Sean McVay was able to keep it close. That defense played great. Matt Stafford threw for over 200 yards to fucking plumbers off the street. They were doing a good job. They played good against a team that I think is the 49ers are good. They are falling apart and dying, but this is the game where they fell apart and died, and the Rams played really good with nobody against them. I got to give the Rams credit. I think they played real good.
So you just picked your second team. That's fair.
Rams aren't my second team, but I will.
I know they are. I've noticed this. Who's your loser?
My big loser was gonna be Bryce Young as well, but I'll pivot. I think the big loser is fucking the Raiders coach. If you saw the post game interview where they're like Gardner Minshew's your starter, right? And he's like, I don't know, I gotta ask the team. Like you're the coach of the Raiders, and you have to ask your players who's going to play quarterback for you. You're a coach by committee. He's a coach by committee. The Raiders are an absolute joke, trash team.
He really asked that?
Yeah, they asked him. They asked about Gardner Minshew in the post game interview, and he's like, "I got to talk to the team. I got to ask the team."
He also said something about they made business decisions. Now I have to make business decisions too.
He is so gone.
Yeah, we have people out there today who are making.
I honestly don't know what people were expecting. Like, we all know why he got the job, and he had the spirit. He had like, I'm gonna push this fucking team to be great. And he had, you know what? He reminds me of. He reminds me of Singletary when he was coaching the 49ers.
What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
Is the guy? No. It's not that.
We're not going to besmirch.
I'm saying it's just the guy who's the hoorah big guy who believes in teamwork and pushes the team, and we're all going to do this together. And then when he has to actually make executive coaching decisions, he crashes and burns.
We know why he got the job. It was because of Christmas.
Yeah,
they went into Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs, and Davis was like, "We just beat fucking Patrick Mahomes with this guy. He's my guy." But the problem is they gave him no quarterbacks. Like, and we expected anything. It's such a weird. Like, he's set for failure. Like, he really is. Like, and they're wasting Crosby's years. They're doing like I would sell Crosby like. Right now, I would trade him because your value is never going to be higher than it is right now. Some playoff team will sell a lot of picks and then try to rebuild. Your team's just not. You have Brock Bowers under 5 years of control right now. Just save your shit and just trade Devontae Adams. Trade it all.
And I have a question because I really don't know. Did anybody anywhere picked up Garoppolo?
Yeah, the Rams.
Yeah, he's on the Rams.
Back up in LA.
He was supposed to be suspended, but he didn't get suspended, so he's there.
He's the one. He's the last domino to fall. Matthew Stafford will die, and then it will be his time to shine.
And then Garoppolo will look like Baker Mayfield when he was in LA. People.
No, that is not the. You don't want that. You do not want that. You won't.
They're good in LA.
No, you want the first game Baker.
Yeah,
you want the first game Baker.
You want the Baker who didn't
have the 4 games Baker. You want the first
Baker.
I think Stafford's gonna be fine.
Sure you are. Shocking that you like the Rams. All right. Well, your winner was who?
The
Rams.
Rams.
Who was your loser?
My problem is I don't know how good the Niners are at this point in time. I think they have so many injuries. I don't know what version you're beating. It's same thing with the Bengals currently right now. Like, and we could be looking up in 6 weeks from now and was like, the team is 6-3. And those 3 games meant nothing to the Bengals. And like, we're in a different spot. So I'm not really sure. But same thing with the Rams. We could sit here in 6 weeks and the Rams be fucking dog shit. And the Niners could be on injured reserve, like the first team ever to just be replaced with like a college team, and like they have to drop. I don't know, but like could happen. Robert, you're a respectful individual.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Who's your winners and losers?
Yeah, I vacillated on the winner a bit here. I'm gonna say my winner, and this could also be considered a loser, is Malik Neighbors, who's the best receiver in football. It took 3 weeks. It's awesome. He's the number 1 player in fantasy. He gets 35% of targets. And weirdly, Wan'Dale Robinson gets like 27. It's like those two, and that's it. It's a weird fucking thing. And they beat the Browns, which is incredible. Love it. That team is a dumpster fire, lit by the ashes of the smoke that Malik Neighbors has coming off his shoes because he destroyed the shit out of them, and it was awesome. My loser, I think the loser you were looking for, Cody, I'm pretty sure this is who you mean, Trevor Lawrence, I assume. Man, I saw a thing that somebody said that was like he never underwent adversity when he was a child. So how can he expect to succeed when he's doing it as an adult? And I was like, that's not a terrible take, honestly. Everything was always very easy for him. And now they have a $50 million a year albatross hanging on the neck. It's going to drag Doug Peterson down as it should. And the cons, they should maybe just stick with wrestling and maybe sell that team, probably. So
I thought it was so funny that Doug Peterson was teaching his coach what a legal formation was live on Monday Night Football. No, you can't do that's an illegal formation. I'm like, wait, you're just telling him now. Yeah, I've called this forever. He is Daniel Jones. No one wants to call it because Urban Meyer diddled college girls and gave him a bunch of excuses for being a bad coach. Like, we don't remember that Daniel Jones had Joe Judge as his coach. Like, they're equally bad at the NFL, maybe just not with the shocking problems that Urban carried. The worst sin he did was apparently bringing Tim Tebow as a tight end. But, at this one time, I just don't know where – he's bad. That interception to DeMar Hamlin was one of the worst throws I have ever seen. He wasn't pressured. The guy was clearly wide open. And this looked like if Alabama played Western Michigan on TV. It was 50. What was it, 50 or something? Over. And everybody's like, we gave him an excuse because he had no weapons, right? They gave him weapons. Didn't matter. They've done everything they can. He is a great running back. He's got a good defense behind him now. Well, apparently. Not last night they died. I don't know what ended up happening there. And Josh Allen went out there with receiver, the $5 bin at Walmart, where you pull DVDs from of receivers and just owns you. It's so embarrassing. And again, yeah, I've been behind him, but everybody's like, no, he's not Daniel. Look at their stat lines. It's crazy how similar. But yeah, I couldn't be more happy for him. And Daniel Jones, not so bad. No, it's bad. But luckily he's got Malik Neighbors that can literally get open and he can hit him. So at this point, as long as that lasts for him, Malik Neighbors was a surefire. I knew that pick was money. But yeah, good winners and losers. Anybody else want to touch on that? Coho, anything on Lawrence?
Come back to me in a second. I'm finishing up something.
Okay. Nazario, anything
on this? No.
Okay, Scully.
They're stuck in a state of purgatory for the next 3-4 years with all those contracts. So, if you think it's going to get better, think twice.
Yep.
Well, actually, I do think something. I think you guys, it's not unfair to give this much shit to Trevor Lawrence, but I have that feeling that is one of those guys that whenever he gets out of Jacksonville, he's going to be pulling a Sam Darnold with a fucking Vikings thing somewhere else.
It's got to be like Carson Palmer. It's literally watching the Carson Palmer Bengals in 20 years.
Good in Cincinnati.
Yeah, but the team's going to be stuck in mediocrity.
Oh, I know, yeah.
And people will eventually blame the quarterback. The quarterback will go elsewhere, fiddle around for a couple of years, and then land somewhere. And
he'll be in Seattle.
And go
I made the comment. Sorry, Scully. Sorry. I made the comment in our group chat the other night that if the team moved to London, he'd be better.
No, he wouldn't.
I did the stats. He has thrown for 1,000 yards, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, and is 3-1 in London.
Give it to me.
He should be in London. He'd be better.
Anybody want to know why he wouldn't be good? Does anybody this co-host not figuring in? the travel back to the States where he has to play, and then he has to play in those 8 games that he has to fly all the way back from London to play.
How McNair would light themselves on fire at the NFL headquarters before they vote to allow that to happen. They are not going to send their team to London every single year to play the fucking Jaguars.
To do well,
Nazario, winner and loser.
I think the winner of the week is pretty clearly Andy Dalton. Like, nobody remembered he existed. Yeah. And he just grabbed a team that was supposed to go 0-17 and fucking won on his first game and actually looked pretty good doing it. Great. And now everybody's figuring out that Bryce Young may be, very shitty. And on the loser side, I don't know, man. The fucking Falcons, maybe 2 drives to the red zone with the opportunity to win the fucking game and failing both times. Who made the call? I think it was 3rd and 1, and then 4th and 1, and they picked like the most obvious, stupid fucking running play you could. Yeah, whoever picks the play, I don't know if it's Raheem Morris, but whoever picked that shit, that is the loser of the week.
I mean,
they had a
Nick
clear
Bolton
shot.
is a fucking freak of nature, one of the best linebackers in the league. So if Nick Bolton's not there, they probably get the first down.
I don't know. It was a bad play.
I still think they get the red zone, and I still think the Chiefs drive down and score.
I don't think that DPI means shit. There was so much time left.
You guys all we're all, some of you are younger, but especially the older people, there's just certain players, it's just inevitable. Brady, Patriots, we all knew, even against Mahomes, that playoff game when they were in Arrowhead and they got the ball first, I said, turn it off. And they're like, no, it's I've seen 12 behind center too many times. I know exactly what's about to happen. He's going to drive. It was the same situation before Washington turned it on last night and did what they did. How Burrow made that drive to cut it to 5 when they missed a pen. So surgical and just where was this the whole game? Because every coach has it in their bag. These are the plays to get us where we need to go, but they just couldn't do anything. Same thing with last year when they played Green Bay, I think it was Kansas City, and there was that terrible pass interference call at the end that they just didn't get. Yeah. And everybody's like, what? And then we all saw what the fuck? Somebody just cut Drago. They let it happen. He didn't get it was something that we never saw before.
Yeah. Lose.
Wait a minute. It was that offsides with Tony. And what? You don't call wait, something's is still. I think it's just strategic where they go, and that's why I was never in doubt. They played fine, but we've all learned this about Kansas City now. It doesn't matter how they look. No. It doesn't matter how shitty it looks, and it doesn't how many they could lose multiple games this year. It does not matter. This team is different in the postseason. They're getting everybody to count out Kelsey right now, saying Kelsey's washed and he's this and this. There will be that moment that's disgusting. We'll all sit there. We saw that going into the playoffs. What do you do against the Ravens? 14 catches, 100. It's just don't. They're doing it by design. I think they fuck with us in the regular season, so we have any question marks. I think somebody bets on the Chiefs in the playoffs when they get plus money for looking bad in certain situations. I think that's just facts. Anybody on Nazario's winners and losers? I took that to a different direction. I apologize.
I played Andy Dalton against Cody in fantasy, so I enjoyed it very much. So
I played Juwan Jennings against Nazario in fantasy, and
that was not nice.
I was so excited about that.
Skelly.
He put 45 points.
46.
All right. My winner, no one circles the wagons like the Buffalo Bills. Josh Allen is playing the best football of his career. He was unbelievable last night. He is playing the best player in football right now. He is the MVP favorite after 3 weeks, without a doubt. I still think the Bills missed their window last year to beat Kansas City because I think Kansas City is going to get better. But man, they look like they could, like, of course right now they look like they could beat Kansas City. They need to look like that in January. But the way that Khalil Shakir is progressing, the way that James Cook is turning into one of the more efficient running backs in football. Keon Coleman got his first touchdown pass last night. And the defense, which I thought was going to be a big question mark, looked. I mean, granted, it was against the Jags, but they looked incredible. So, if they can keep this momentum up and into next week against Baltimore, if they can beat the Ravens, but in the same fashion they've won these first few games, they'll look like the AFC favorites until the Chiefs decide to wake up. And my loser is not just Zach Taylor, but his entire coaching tree. You have Press Taylor, his brother, who is the OC for what team? What team is he the OC for?
The fucking Jaguars.
The fucking Jaguars. And Brian Callahan, his OC in Cincinnati, is currently 0-3 with, you guessed it, the only other 0-3 team, the Tennessee Titans. So lots of question marks need to be raised about that entire coaching tree. He is not a good head coach. I've said it before. He is not a disciplinarian. He has no control over his team. He has allowed Jamar Chase and T. Higgins to fester in their own negativity to the point where they have become locker room. I wouldn't go far to say cancers, but they have become problematic. Thank God Jamar Chase went off this week. Otherwise, there might have been a death in that locker room. I don't know if either one of them is back in Cincinnati next year if he is still there. I think it's that bad. But they got to find a way forward, and it has to start with him. Because even though Joe Burrow played like a top 5 quarterback last night, their defense gave up 37 points to a college offense.
Well, I'll say whatever. Whoever that cornerback is that fucking keeps running their fucking mouth, I would tell him to shut the fuck up.
He gives every single team bulletin board material every single week. And
like, I would went to him tomorrow. Like, your team couldn't force a punt last night. Like, your team didn't.
Neither team punted last night. Fun fact. Neither team punted last night.
I expect one team to punt. I don't like the other team. If you told me that the Bengals didn't punt last night, that makes perfect sense in my brain. When the Washington Commanders don't punt, I see a huge issue with that. He couldn't play a better game. It wasn't about Burrow. Everybody was like questioning Burrow after that. Like there was like national media questioning Burrow.
Like a French lesbian, but aside from that,
couldn't do anything. Like couldn't do anything because he couldn't get his offense. Like every 4th and 1, they're like, "Fuck it, we're just going to go for it." Like Jaden Daniels played in like a 21 for 23, and
they planned phenomenally
and had a guy in his face slamming him to the ground while he delivers that ball to McLaurin to call game.
It's the play of the year. That is unreal.
Yeah. But your winner, Buffalo?
Yep.
There's another loser that you're not even factoring in. And it's going to affect T. Higgins and it's going to affect Jamar Chase. Diva receivers maybe are not worth the headache in other organizations.
Because, close to being a loser for me.
Yeah, Buffalo kicks out Diggs. Everybody's like this. Gabe Davis doesn't really do anything. But then all of a sudden, he brings in these guys, and everybody's like clicking and working. Imagine if you just get into a system and don't think it's about me, and just talk, like, let Allen cook what he can create. Like, he was in that pocket thinking, I have to get Diggs so many passes, or Diggs going to lose it on the sideline. It's going to be a storyline for the next week. There's not one player.
Just like all 3 games so far.
It looks like Buffalo is having fun on offense when they looked fucking miserable last few years. Because
Joe Brady is amazing. Remember, this is the same guy who got Mike Davis, DJ Moore, Curtis Samuel, and company all over 1,000 yards individually. And now look what he's doing in Buffalo.
It's crazy. I think they were. Everybody was down on them because what they lost, but really their losses was more of a game.
addition by
And
subtraction.
their defense is looking not
Yeah,
terrible.
that's the thing, is the defense playing up with the
The defense has looked a lot better.
All right, anything on those two? And then we'll go to power rankings.
I just want to bring up, I've been talking. Okay, that was me. Yeah, I've been talking shit about Zach Taylor for years. I think he sucks. His star team has kind of kept him off the hot seat for years. Maybe that'll change, because every single year it starts off like this. They just suck for no reason. I thought it was going to be different after they gave the Chiefs a game, but no, they lost the shit to Washington, and it might continue this coming week.
It might.
There's a chance it will.
I don't feel good.
Hopefully not.
All right.
Just one thing about Lawrence. The only big game he has ever lost in his career was to the 2019 LSU Tigers. So he's really never had a bad loss in his life before going to the NFL.
Yeah. All right, before Coho goes, we're going to do his power rankings. He's got like 5 minutes.
Can't wait.
And he has his picks. So
Pretty
I'd
good.
rather drag my balls through
Vikings
glass.
too. I was close.
Fuck off. Fuck off.
Scully, your team's got an O-line that's made of Swiss cheese, and the rest of your team can
We
suck
don't
a fat
deserve
dick.
to be below the fucking Browns and the 0-3 Titans, who we beat, by the way.
Great. Win a game with Caleb Williams. A real team. Do it.
Why are we below the team we beat?
Because the team you beat is better than you right now.
What? No. They're not a team.
Yeah, they are.
they held him to 97 yards passing. You think that's like the
Oh
reason?
my god.
I like
Don't
the
help
Raiders
us.
at last.
I don't know if the Niners
The
deserve
Raiders
to be above.
beat the Ravens and they're 32.
I gotta say, Coho, I'm not sure the 1 and 2 Niners deserve to be above the 3 and 0 Seahawks, but thank you.
I
No.
believe in the Niners a little more than I believe in the Seahawks, but it's getting close.
Getting embarrassed is what it is.
I just
I think the Rams at
if
5.
this is if this is like forecasting in the future, right? I think you do a little bit of that.
A little bit of forecasting, yeah.
The Dolphins at 22. That team is destined to not win another game. Really, like they don't have anything. Like their
No, they're
quarterback.
dropping. They're dropping week by week.
Tim Boyle's about to be the starting quarterback for the Dolphins.
It's gonna be a
And I think it's weird. Yeah, the Saints lost to the Eagles, but the Saints still looked good, but they scored 90 points in the first 2 weeks. Like,
Yeah.
I think they're better than the Cowboys that they beat.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. I think the Saints are better than the Cowboys right now.
Their defense looks terrible. Like I don't know what. Like they came back and almost won, which is exactly what the Ravens were going to do: play around and just fuck up. But like I think that's weird. Packers at 11. Think I don't know how. Like I guess because they lost to the Eagles, but like I think the Packers going right now are better.
I flirted with the Packers being in the top 10. Ultimately, I gave the other 10 teams the benefit of the doubt over the Packers at this moment. It was
If they
really
beat the number, if they break the number 2 ranked team, do you move them up?
Yes, they will move up the rankings if they beat the Vikings, which is very possible.
Holy shit, the Vikings are too.
Yeah, you can see that.
I do want to say real
I
quick
see that shit.
for defense of the Minnesota Vikings, real quick. Just I want to bring up the defense.
Here it is.
Zach Diamond, baby.
The defense is playing out of their mind this year in a way that I don't think we've seen in Minnesota in a while. They have allowed 30 points through 3 weeks. They are averaging on average, they are holding teams to less than 5 yards on passes and less than 4 yards on rushes. It's insane.
Not to be egocentric, but there was a situation where the Steelers could have made Brian Flores their defensive coordinator, and they let him go like fucking morons.
It's true. But that's why I got to say thank you to the Giants, to the Dolphins, to every team that went, nah, Brian Flores ain't the coach for us. He ain't the DC for us. That guy is GOAT. He's great. He's done so much great stuff to the defense. Bernard looked like fucking TJ Watt on the defensive line this week. It was crazy. He looked so good.
Yeah, I still think that's like Flores to go. Like it doesn't matter where you go. Like for him just to be fired is crazy. Like he's a defensive mastermind. Okay,
Amazing.
all right. You guys ready to pick some games?
I guess.
Yeah, get that shit off my screen.
So,
All right, first game of the season of the week. Dallas going to the New York Giants. I'm going to lead. So every high game I have in the top 12, I will notify you so you can adjust accordingly because that's respect. Dallas Cowboys 16 points.
You motherfucker.
Because if they lose, great. If they win, whatever. I'm perfect on Thursday nights. I'm going to keep the streak alive. I'm going with the Dallas Cowboys. 16 points. Bar has them at 1 point for the Giants, the G-Men. So, and then Coho, you sent me yours, but.
Yeah, I sent you mine. I mean, for the Cowboys game, I'm taking the Cowboys for 13.
Go ahead. Say your numbers, whoever wants to say.
I'm picking also the Cowboys, but I mean, I'm sticking to my Thursday night rule of picking that game for 1 point. Because Thursday night are weird. Although this fucking season, everything is weird. Like, nothing has fallen the way it should. But I'm going to stick to this. So the Cowboys for 1 Thursday.
Hungry dogs.
Cowboys for 15.
What'd you say?
For 15.
He moved it.
Dallas for 15. Okay.
Cowboys for 11. I hate the games this week, by the way. The games this week suck.
You said 11?
11. Yeah.
Okay. Mark.
The slate is toss-ups, and I hate it.
I gotta be honest, guys. I don't know what Dallas team you've been watching to give you confidence to pick the Cowboys for double digits this week. That's fucking nuts.
Because they're playing the Giants.
Because they're playing the Giants. That's it.
Still divisional.
Hey, Mark.
Still divisional.
Hey, Mark.
Yeah.
I've done this logically. I've done this with some planning, some statistics. It doesn't fucking matter what I put for 16. If I lose every 16, I want everybody to talk about Friday night that the Cowboys went into MetLife and got their asses kicked. It doesn't matter. I'm losing this game. I want the Cowboys to be the team to lose.
See, you make sense. Everybody else is confusing shit. Listen, Giants are playing with a bit of spunk so far this season. They look like they look a little bit more like the 2022 Giants, who could actually beat a few teams. And yeah, for that reason, yeah, they're playing at home. Yeah, give me the Giants for 7.
Oh my
They
gosh.
have spunk or they're covered in spunk.
Either way. It reminds me of that game in 2014 when Beckham had the catch on his, it's like that. We remember that, but the Cowboys won that game. So.
Okay. I'm going to lead this one as well. I'm jumping. Pittsburgh's gonna win the Super Bowl to Indianapolis, and I have the Pittsburgh Steelers 15 points. Write your. I'll be right back. Write your things in the private chat. You can discuss the game.
I'm really
I don't know
glad
what he meant.
I'm really glad he didn't pick him for 16. Yeah, that was my 16 pointer. Like, I mean, yeah, the Colts didn't look great last week. Still managed to beat the Bears, but whatever. They still tried to give that game away for like the entirety of the second half. And now Anthony Richardson has to play like the best defense in the league right now. Yeah, he's probably gonna throw like 87 picks in that game. Yeah, the Colts have no fucking shot. Yeah, they're why I'm picking Steelers 16. That'll do it.
I mean, like, the Colts look like shit, and they were supposed to look decent. And whatever thing Scully wants to deny, Justin Fields is playing solid with the Steelers.
He is.
And I do not
He's
see that
also in
ending.
year 4, so he better be.
He's going to win this game, and they're gonna go 4-0. And
He's not going to win this game. The defense is going to win this game.
I'm gonna put it on 10 points. 10 points.
Yeah, I have it for 10 as well. I mean, Richardson has not looked any better. And against a defense of similar caliber as the Bears this Sunday, I have very little confidence he'll be able to do much.
I forgot Anthony Richardson was going to be my loser, and I totally whiffed. I forgot about him because everybody wants Joe Flacco. Steelers don't play well in Indy in the regular season traditionally, and when they get to a point where they start getting high on their own supply. That's usually when it starts crashing back to earth. But I don't want to believe it. So I'm picking the Steelers for 14.
I honestly feel this season might be the one you win like 8 straight games, you go 8-0, and then Mike Tomlinson remembers he needs to start losing to balance it out, and then you lose like 6 games in December and November.
I said if they went 8-2 in the first 10, 7-3, they'd make the playoffs. Now they only have to go 4-3 or 5-2 to do that.
How many points, Robert?
Yeah, I was putting it there. It's for 14.
Okay, just making sure.
Yep.
And Scully, where are you at?
I had the Steelers for 10.
No, he said 10 too, but he didn't write it down.
Yeah, you just didn't put it in the chat like I asked you to. Just like you didn't put your pick into the pick-em app.
You know what? Don't tell me what to do.
Yeah, just like a man-child. Where's your mom? I need to talk to your mom. Okay. Next fun game. Let's go. Let's try to find one that I'm spending a lot of money on. Oh, that's one. Denver made us all look kind of stupid, didn't they?
We should have known that the Buccaneers would have a letdown game after beating Detroit. It was so obvious.
It was on the tape. It was there. It was as obvious as Carolina, but we just didn't see it and didn't look at it. They're going into MetLife. Bo Nix might have like a leg injury after this because it doesn't do well for most people. But I have the Jets for 14 against Denver. I think they have to have a letdown coming off that team beating them like as animated as and traveling to there. And I think the Jets found something. I don't trust anything on the. I didn't even if you watch that game. It was like the Bucs just beat themselves, like destroyed them. Like I don't know, they just messed. They couldn't do anything. Like it was like second quarter, and he had like 15 yards passing at one point. Like it was just like they couldn't do anything. So I think the Jets smother Bo Nix. I think Sauce gets at least 1 or 2 picks from him. Oh, by the way, Barr is at 15 on Steelers. And Coho is at 16 on Steelers. So So if you have money line, bet the Colts. You might have a shot at making money. All right, Scully, what's your take on that?
Yeah, I got the Jets for 13. I think
I'm a Jets believer, huh?
Well, it's off the momentum of their defense on Thursday night, the mini bye,
and extra rest.
They should be able to create some pressure. Plus, don't love Denver's defense against that two-headed monster of Allen and Hall.
Okay, Mark.
Yep, I concur. Jets for 13. I mean, they're still the fucking Broncos. I mean, like, come on, like. The Bo Nix is going to go back to being Bo Nix this week. You know, it'll be fun.
Nazario.
Aaron Rodgers for 9.
You're going to have to at some point throw out some of your old scores that you used to do. That was the peak Nazario time. Robert.
I don't like picking it this high, but if you look at the games we're going to get to, there's so many toss-ups. It's gross. So I have the Jets for 15.
Okay, and then the last one that I'll save everybody from if they want to course correct, it is the 13th game. It is the London Jaguars coming into Houston. I have Houston for 13. I don't think Jacksonville loses every game. That's just impossible. They will find a way. And I know the scariest thing is it's division matchup, so it could be a totally different game. I just don't know how you come off the ground like you just played and are not just demoralized. And I don't know if Houston just won a big game, I could see Houston losing this game to Jacksonville because everybody's thinking, oh, well, Jacksonville, of course, is going to lose this. But no, I think it's like 100%. Houston lost, they're going to come up and they're just going to smash. That offensive line looks terrible. Like I see the Chicago Bears pass rush. So, yeah.
Lockstep with you, Cody. I'm the same. Yeah, I agree with you completely. If this was they were coming off a big win against Minnesota, it'd be different. But I trust the Texans to be able to get off the mat faster than the Jaguars.
There's no fucking way that the Jaguars win this game. So the Texans and the Strouds win 14 points.
Mark, what you were saying?
Yeah, that motherfucker.
Did we just watch a murder?
Yeah.
I think he got away. That son of a bitch. Yeah, the only reason why this is not my 16-pointer is because it's a division game. But yeah, we just saw the Jaguars look like the worst fucking team in football. Yeah, Texans for 15.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was it for that, right? No, Scully.
Texans for 16.
Is that what you moved it to?
Yes, and I honestly I don't mind because I think CJ Stroud is going to do some unholy things to that defense.
Okay.
Okay, so let's talk about the not so fun game. Rams go to Soldier Field. Oh, bar 16 for Houston. Sorry, the Red Sox are on. I'm still watching. Like I have a hope in fucking hell. And Coho's at 14. Doesn't matter. We're up and we're still weird. I'm just hoping for 80 wins. It'll be nice. I haven't seen it in 3 years. Okay. Yeah. So Rams are going to Soldier Field. Bar has Rams for 10. Coho has Rams for 15. I think the one thing I'll get my vote out of the way. I think they lost. I think they lose to good head coaches at this point. Because I don't think Eberflus is that good of a head coach. I don't think he knows how to I think Sean McVay knows how to adapt and change how the game's going. I don't know if Eberflus has that ability in him. They were able to go in there and beat the 49ers regardless what that looks like. They were able to beat them. I think he's able to get to Williams. I think he's able to shut down. I think he's able to change that. I think it's going to be hard for Rams just for the sake of running the ball because I just don't think you can run that well against Chicago. But I do have the Rams by 10. That's just where my thought process. Robert.
This is one of the games I fucking hate.
I do too.
Badly. I looked at it multiple times. But I'm kind of like how Mark took our feelings about the Cowboys is kind of my thoughts about the Rams here. I don't know how they move the ball in this game. And I'll take the team with the better defense. I'm actually picking the Bears here, and I'm picking them for 3. I'm not that confident. It's just they're going across. They just won a big divisional game. I assume there will be a little bit of a letdown.
Points don't matter for me, so 10 really is not that confident anymore. So I just pick what I pick. Mark killed that. Mark killed that fly and also killed his setup at the same time. Nazario.
Mark's back.
Did he kill the fly?
Wait, fuck. My thing moved to the wrong week. Give me a second. Week 4. Okay. Yeah. I think the Rams did a very, 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 very good effort coming back to win the 49ers game. They actually only led for those 5 seconds in the end. They were never ahead. And I think this was mainly Matthew Stafford tried to prove a point, and they been very, very decided to beat us as a divisional rival since we have gone to their stadium and kicked their ass for ever. So I don't think they can pull that 2 weeks in a row, and I do believe that the Bears have a good enough defense to, beat a very, very good quarterback with no receivers. So I'm picking the Bears, and I'm putting 7 on them.
I'm doing an audible. Doing an audible, and Am I allowed to pull an audible? Does everybody agree?
It's fine. We're not off the street.
My show, I make the rules. I'm making the audible. Chicago, the Rams just beat the 49ers. The same logic that we just talked about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers beating the Detroit Lions. We should have known that they were coming off a high game and there could be a stumble. That's what I think here. I think Chicago actually wins this game. I think they struggle because they just beat the 49ers. Like, I think that's a letdown. I think I'm taking Chicago by 5. I changed my vote. I think Chicago wins by 5. Again, could be wrong, but I would rather be on that side because I think the defense just looks. I think what Robert was describing is exact the reason why I need to do that. Nazari, what was your pick? Chicago, but what was the points?
7.
7. Okay. And Mark.
I feel like Robert maybe said it a little bit before here because I don't know about you guys, but once I get beyond my 12-pointer, like I don't really feel confident about like any of these games. Like the rest of them are just pure toss-ups, and this is like king of the examples of two teams I don't know what to do with because one just looks really bad, and they just can't can't figure anything out, and then the other team played like shit, but still won their game last week, and like I just don't know what to do with either of them. I think at the end of the day, I have slightly more confidence in the Rams. So I'll take them for 5.
Okay. Scully.
I think this is a game that Caleb and the defense can win on their own. I don't know if either team is going to be able to run the ball that much in the battle between which secondary can hold up the most. I give it to ours. So it's a toss-up. Again, like the Colts game, if you had asked me a month ago, I would say the Colts would have won.
I missed
but I had more confidence in us last week. I'm going to take the Bears for 4. Hope that I'm right, but I think this is going to be a game where Caleb Williams is going to have to carry the offense.
But he can't do that.
I mean, he did last game.
I think it's a 10-point spread right now for this next game. If you took the team traveling west, it's plus 1,800 on the money line. It's the New England Patriots going into San Fran.
Oh my god!
Right now, me, Bar, and Coho are all in lockstep at 12 points. I don't know. Is Stevenson out?
No, he just sucks.
The running back. I don't know his name. Stevenson's not his name. What's his name?
Ramondre.
Yeah.
That's what you mean, right? For
Yeah.
Patriots. Yeah, I think he's fine.
I thought he left the game injured last week.
He's fine.
Or did he just not fucking run? That could be the case. He had like 23 yards or something. Maybe it was just he had a bad game. Okay. Yeah, so we all 12. What do you guys take? Scully, go first.
Wait, 12 on
I have
who?
him for 14.
What?
12 on who?
San Francisco. New England going to San Francisco. I said that.
No, you said the game, but you didn't say who you were picking.
If I said New England, I think we'd have more reactions.
Fair.
If I put New England at 12, like, what am I like? I just don't care at all.
Before I was so rudely interrupted, I have them for 14. I think the defense has a bounce back day.
Robert.
I'm with you and Coho and Bar at 12.
Mark.
Yeah, the Niners do not deserve to be picked for double digits in our conference picked after last week.
No.
But against New England?
Against New England.
They are because there aren't any better options. That being said, I will still take the Niners for 10.
Great setup.
Just like the slate this week doesn't offer us much options.
Yeah.
I am fucking sad that this is the situation we have all fallen to. I don't even know if Trent Williams is going to be able to play.
Yikes.
Kittle is a maybe. Debo's out again. how long. Even both were questionable last week. Honestly, I don't know how, but we have to fucking win, right?
Have to.
So, I'm picking the Niners for 13.
Dude, if they lose,
Oh my God, man.
I don't know how I'm gonna pick them.
Call the ambulance.
burn it down.
Yeah.
This is a fun game. I bet everybody will love watching this one. Cleveland Browns going to Las Vegas, baby.
Ooh.
I have.
Wait, do we have another noon game?
I'm not going in any order. I'm going off of like fun matchups. Like I'm saving the best for last, okay? Besides my big point values. That's just to save everybody. Because guess what? I'll go to Monday night next. Watch. Cleveland versus Las Vegas. I have Cleveland for 10 points. I don't believe it. I just think maybe. My best quality. I just think maybe at this point, I don't trust the Raiders at all. I do think Myles Garrett is dealing with that foot thing. He has said like he can't, like he's in constant like kind of pain, which sucks. But he's going to compete, so I have him for 10. Barr and Coho disagree with me. Barr has Las Vegas by 2. Coho Las Vegas by 1, so I can see it going either way. But I'm going to put out a lot of points because who knows? We'll start with Nazario.
Fuck the fucking Browns, man. I'm tired of they trying to pretend that they're a good football team. I don't think I'm gonna pick him again until Nick Chubb comes back. So I'm gonna go by default to the Raiders, who I also don't believe they're a good team. I think this is the most split decision of everything. But since I believe in karma, I'm gonna pick the Raiders for a bit and give them 8 points.
Jeez. Raiders for 8?
Yes.
Mark.
I mean, it's not the only one. I'm also taking the Raiders for 8. I mean, you just said Myles Garrett is hurt. Like he may not. Like, I think he's
playing.
He doesn't play. Like
He's
I mean, come on, not 100%. And the defense is all the Browns got. And like if he kind of sucks, like where are we going?
Oh wow, you're just a fucking cheating whore. You jump off a bandwagon so fast. You're ready to sleep with them all night long. And then you're like, fucking skank, get out of my bed. I want nothing to do with you.
Maybe.
Post not clarity is crazy.
Listen, she fucking cheated on me that first week. I said, you know what? I'm willing to forgive, put the past behind us. And then they fucked me again by losing to the Giants. Nah, it's over.
Oh my gosh, we're gonna lose by walking runs, and I hate everything.
Okay, maybe they're only bad against the NFC East. You never know.
Okay, Robert.
Yeah, the Myles Garrett thing, but from the other side, I was listening to something. They said when
the AFC North thing that you
I have picked them, and I think a lot of them lost the last 3 weeks. But somebody said like when Max Crosby plays great, the Raiders tend to win or tend to be in a position to win, and the Browns have like no linemen left. They lost, I think, 3 more in this Giants game. So I don't know how Deshaun, in his infinite non-wisdom, can matriculate a ball down the field when Max Crosby is going to probably be in his face the whole fucking game. So I'm going to take the Raiders, but I'm going to take them for 6. I'm a little more conservative.
Scully.
Look, I trust these teams about as far as I could throw them. Both of them give off the essence of spoiled milk. This might be the least enjoyable game of the entire season until the Panthers and Panthers and Giants. I think they play each other at some point. I got the Browns for 5. I don't really know why. I just don't. Again, I don't trust this Raiders defense. I think the Browns running game is gonna have a strong day. Amari Cooper finally woke up because he was on my fantasy bench. So I'll put him on the bench again this week and secure the 5 points.
Fun
Good.
fact. In the ESPN app, this game is 50-50 from the thousands of people that pick it. So
They don't.
people don't know what
Well,
the fuck is going to happen.
Just to let you all know, the Boston Red Sox are now sitting at 80 and 78. Let's go.
Yay, we got 80 wins.
2.5 back.
Huh?
2.5 back of the wild card, something like that.
I don't know who's lost this week. I know Detroit just won,
Detroit
but I
lost.
don't,
Seattle's winning though. They're up on Houston.
and the Royals won, so it doesn't really fucking matter. We're out, but having fun. Seattle is losing to Houston, so that's one minor bright spot. Okay, Tennessee goes to Miami.
Hey, who?
What?
Who's going to fucking quarterback the Dolphins? Do we know?
No, that's why we don't know. Me and Coho are at 4 points for Tennessee. I don't believe in it. I don't love it, but overall, I don't trust Miami at all. They have the most explosive weapons and only scored 3 points. And Barr believes 3 points for Miami. So unless you have like a strong take, we do have 30-minute time limit. Just to let you know, the rest of the 35. So
I have 4 points on this game, and I'm going with the Dolphins mainly because at some point those weapons have to produce something, and the Titans are shit. So
Miami 4, right?
yes.
Mark.
Give me Tennessee for 11. Miami looks like the worst team in football right now.
Jesus Christ.
All these
Rob,
other games suck.
I'm actually goddamn chaos agent today.
I love it.
I picked the Titans last week, got burned, so I'm gonna pick them again, but also for 1, like I did last time.
Scully.
I think it's worth noting that the Titans won this exact same game last year on Monday night in Miami.
They did.
And that was with Tua with a clear, full brain.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going the Titans for 9 because I don't think Brian Callahan is going to allow Will Levis to hold the ball for longer than 2 seconds. They're going to run that ball 50 times, 25 with Spears, 25 with Pollard, and they're going to win the game on the ground.
The whole state of confusion is here. Philadelphia going to Tampa Bay. Me, Barr, and Coho all picking Tampa Bay. Barr picking Tampa Bay for 4. Me picking Tampa Bay by 2. Coho Tampa Bay by 5.
Barr picked against the Eagles.
That's an interesting subplot.
I mean, did you see Devontae Smith? They don't have A.J. Brown, and they don't have a competent offense that ever does anything. If Saquon doesn't break that run, we're talking about them losing this game. Like, they were going to lose. Like, they got lucky. I don't know. And I just think, like, going back, Tampa Bay got to stay home. I think they're just ready. They're going to clean up the mistakes they made from Denver. So, who knows?
I agree. I think Tampa wins on the bounce back game. I think the Eagles. Yeah, the Eagles kind of suck. I was surprised Barr pick against them because people are fucking blind. Like Coho put in the Vikings at number 2. So yeah, the Buccaneers are probably gonna win this game, and the Eagles are not even close to where they are supposed to be. But I don't really have like a strong conviction about it, so I'm just putting 3 points on this game.
The Eagles.
Go ahead.
The Eagles have consistently tried to lose their games for like the past 2-3 weeks at this point. I mean, I don't know. Like, I still feel nervous about this because like the Eagles have proven that they are the better team consistently. They just don't want to win football games for whatever reason. In that case, for that reason, like we'll pick the team that wants to fuck around the least. So I'll also take the Bucks for 3.
Yeah. Once again, I feel like saying that Tampa won this exact same game last year when the Eagles had a healthy receiving core. So I'm going to take the Bucks for 12 because I truly have no idea how that offense is going to function for 4 quarters. I think that Baker is going to have another strong day, and I'm not confident in the Eagles at this point. I think that Brazil game is looking more and more like an aberration every day.
Sorry guys, I had a melee issue come up. Just going through the challenge. Can everybody run through their points one more time for me?
3 for me for the Bucks.
Okay.
I didn't talk, but I'll just say
Oh.
I was gonna pick Eagles, but you guys swayed me, and I'm picking Bucks for 7. No.
I have Bucks for 12.
Well,
Same as Nazario, Bucks for 3.
all right.
I have a question. Is Cody frozen for anybody else but me?
No, he's frozen for me.
Yeah, he's frozen.
Same.
Yeah, you're still the same. It's weird.
He's doing his blue steel.
How many games?
I wish we knew his order. I mean, talk about the next game.
There he is. He's back.
Yeah, we still got 7 games.
Great game. Everybody's excited. Cincinnati going to Carolina. I have Cincinnati for 11. I don't think they stop anything. I think Andy Dalton, they game plan one way. It doesn't work the same way. Yeah, I think they have to win. I could be totally wrong. I've been wrong every week since. But yeah, I just think they have to win this one. It could go the opposite, 100%. I think Carolina, that team. But yeah, so that's my pick. Coho has Cincinnati for 9, and Barr has Cincinnati for 8. So we'll go to Nazario first. What did you pick?
The Bengals gotta win at some point, right?
Yeah, right.
Like Joe Burrow plays usually too good to be 0-3. And it's the fucking Panthers. And the surprise of Andy Dalton is gone. So fuck this. I'm going Bengals 15, and they better fucking win.
No problem.
Mark?
Yeah, I will. The Bengals got to prove to me otherwise that that they're not going to just continue fucking around and finding out. So I'm going to take the Panthers for 4 points.
Like it.
Nonsense.
No logic. Robert.
Yeah, Andy Dalton revenge game, but the Bengals have the Ravens coming up after this, and they can't be 0-5. Just seems absurd. So Bengals for
9. Scully.
This game terrifies me because Andy Dalton looked like the old red rifle again. But also a lot of this happens in the NFL where the backup comes in for one game, looks great, and then the next game they look like they're we find out why they've jumped from so many teams. I'm gonna go the Bengals for 1 point because I'm not confident in any of this.
Probably the smartest choice ever.
And if the Panthers win, I'm fine losing 1 point. I will not lose more than 1 point on the Carolina Panthers like I did last week.
I just realized something. Everybody's back in the eliminator, right?
Everybody lost. Yeah.
Everybody lost last week, right? So yeah, we start
fresh.
We all start fresh. No, Robert picked the Bucks to spot me after and it's still backfired.
Yeah.
I have
picked the Seahawks had I not picked the Seahawks in week
1. Kansas City goes into Los Angeles. So basically Arrowhead 2.0 because no fans exist in either area. Besides that crazy lady that was on Pat McAfee last year.
She's nowhere to be found.
Nowhere to be found, yeah. Government plant. Is Herbert playing? Is Herbert injured back? What any situation? Do anybody know?
Up in the air.
He wants to play.
Okay. I'm going Kansas City 9. It wouldn't have changed if Herbert was playing or not. I just don't think it changes much. KC 13 for Barr and Kansas City 3 for Coho. A little bit less confident on that. Oh, Scully, what's your pick?
Harbaugh bootlicker. Chiefs for 11. I think Herbert is limited with his ankle sprain. He really can't move around that much. And if you know Spagnuolo, he is absolutely going to take advantage of that. So even if Mahomes has another mediocre outing, that their defense will pick up the slack.
Okay. Robert.
Yeah, hobbled Justin Herbert, no Joe Alt, no Rashawn Slater on the ends. I mean, like how and the receivers suck. Besides Quentin Johnson, who gets open like once. So like, how do they move the ball? I have no fucking idea. Chiefs for 16.
That makes sense. Should have been my pick, but I didn't really want to curse them. They won me money. Mark.
Yeah, no Joe Alt. Joey, Nick, is it Joey or Nick Bosa?
Joey.
Yeah, Joey Bosa's a toss up. Herbert's a toss up. Yeah, Chiefs for 14.
And Nazario.
I believe in Jim Harbaugh, but I'm not believing him in that much. So Chargers 2 points.
Oh wow!
Wow.
Did you
This
hear?
is how
All,
I stay away from last
did
week.
you hear
should have
all the
put
stuff?
more-
Did you hear all the stuff of what they said?
Yeah.
Like, okay. New Orleans Saints go into Atlanta. Divisional game. Both teams better than expect. I don't know.
Are the Falcons better than expected?
I don't
They're
know.
honest than expected.
I bar Saints 5. Me, Saints 6. Coho, Atlanta 6. I just think the defense is stronger. I just don't know. Go ahead.
I'm with Cody. Saints 6.
Okay. Mark.
Yeah, that's kind of the only thing that's giving me confidence in them after last week. They held the Eagles scoreless for the majority of that game. So yeah, I'll take
Oh wow,
the Saints.
how impressive!
Saints for 6.
Okay. Robert.
This game it bores holes into my brain, and I don't know which side to talk out of and which side to hear out of because I hate this. But the Falcons at least have shown like some growth. So because like they got a little bit screwed, I guess, or because they almost had it against the Chiefs. I'm picking them for 2, so I'm not confident. I still don't trust the Saints at all.
How much did you say? Sorry, Robert.
2.
2. Okay, and Scully.
I think the Falcons are guilty of looking ahead to opponents. I think they looked past Pittsburgh to look at Philly, and I don't really think they cared that much about the Chiefs. They're going to be ready for this game. This especially with Raheem Morris, who knows the importance of the NFC South rivalries. He is going to have that defense playing very hard. I would not be surprised if Carr has a rough outing against that secondary. It's going to be a lot of too high safety looks for them, unless the league bans them by Sunday. I'm going to take the Falcons for 6.
Okay. Minnesota goes to Green Bay. Coho has Minnesota by only 2. Bar has Minnesota by 7. I have Green Bay by 7 with 7. I just think Green Bay is overall. I think Green Bay is one of the top 6 teams in the league right now, and they have Malik Willis, and it doesn't seem to matter. It just doesn't seem to matter at all. They're still firing. I think it's all about coaching. I think Minnesota's firing all cylinders. But if one of these teams had to come back down to earth, I think it's a loss in Lambeau versus a loss in – like if this was playing in Minnesota, I'd flip it. I'd literally – because I think they're cheating in that dome. I don't know what's happening, but I think they're cheating. So, yeah.
I agree.
Scully. Oh, you agree? What's your pick?
I agree that they're cheating.
Yeah.
It's a poltergeist situation. That stadium's built on a burial ground.
Yeah. So, Nazario, what's your pick? Sorry, I won't.
I cannot deal with Coho for another week with the Vikings undefeated. So I'm putting all my chips on the table, and I'm going Packers for 16.
Oh, God's sake.
Jesus Christ, Scully.
Excuse me. Fuck. I'm gonna go Packers for 3. It's a toss-up. It can go either way, but I think LaFleur is the better coach. I think that the Packers' defense is going to be the difference maker. They usually do a pretty good job keeping Jefferson in check, even though I think Jair's one overrated SOB. But it's going to be a low scoring game. But I think the Packers. I think they pull it out.
Okay, Robert.
Yeah, you've hit on all the reasons. Packers for 5.
Mark.
They hadn't, just thoroughly thrashed the Texans. I would probably be on there, but I would maybe go the Packers if I knew Jordan Love was playing. He's fully healthy, but
He's still a maybe for Sunday, by the way. He was practicing last week.
Even so, I think the Vikings have earned it at this point. I'm going to take the Vikings for 9.
Okay. How much did you say?
Yeah.
9.
Okay.
What?
9.
You're breaking. I don't know. Okay,
I thought he said none, and I was like, "That's
like none." I was like, "That's not an option." I would have done that every week. Probably my most anticipated game of the week. I think it's going to be the most fun to watch. I hope it's on national television. If not, I may just buy a Sunday ticket at this point. Washington coming to Arizona. I think that is just a matchup should just be a blast. Arizona by 6 for Barr. Arizona by 8 for Coho. I have Washington by 1. I think there could be a come down spot overall, but I think they also learned a lot in that game that they can use against Arizona. I think Arizona's high power offense could also just neutralize. I think it just could be a shootout. I think it could be that score. I think you could be looking at this fourth quarter and it's 35-35 and they're settling for a field goal to win it. So I hope so. I think it's going to be an awesome game. But that's my pick. We'll go Mark.
Sorry, which game are we talking about?
Arizona. Jesus, are you Nazario? Washington at Arizona.
Oh, yeah, this is the biggest toss-up of the week. Take Washington for 1 point.
Okay. Robert.
Start all your Cardinals. Your Marvin Harrison Jr.'s, your Michael Wilsons, your Human Dorches. Start all your Washington players, your Terry McLaurins, your Diami Browns, all those guys. Start them all because it's going to be 45. Well, don't really, but think
if you're
about
listening, please do not start Diami Brown.
But Michael Wilson for sure should be on, and Dortch should be on notice. I'm picking the Cardinals for 4. If the Cardinals had won the Lions game, I'd probably be on the Manders, but we're just evening out again. So Arizona.
Arizona by how many?
4.
Scully.
I have Arizona for 8. I think Arizona's defense is going to have a big game. I think Gannon, he has experience with mobile quarterbacks. I don't think James Daniels is going to be able to do a whole lot outside the pocket. So he's going to really have to dial up more of what he did against Cincinnati. That's going to be a big test for him. And look, if he does it, then we're off to the races, and he's looking really good. But I think that Arizona's defense will be able to do just enough to contain him and contain Terry, and everybody else to put Arizona ahead.
Okay. Nazario.
There's no way that the Commanders can pull that energy 2 weeks in a row on a short week. It's gonna be the Cardinals, and I'm putting 11 on it.
Seattle going to Detroit. Detroit 9 for Bar. Detroit 10 for Coho. Detroit 8 for me. If this was in Seattle, I could maybe have a different story. But overall, I think it could be close. But Seattle's kind of played around with most of the opponents they've played this year. I think Detroit is finding their groove a little bit on the offensive side. I think it's still going to take some time to figure fully out. But yeah, I have them by 8. Who knows? Who the fuck knows? But I just don't think Seattle is as good of a team as they are showing on paper right now. Being 3-0, I just don't think. I think they have to lose one. Nazario, you know AFC West, and you love the Seahawks, or NFC West, you love the Seahawks.
Where's that? Oh, here it is. Lions, man, what the fuck? Yeah, the Seahawks are fake 3-0. They are probably gonna still be fighting for the division by the end of the season because, like I said, the Niners are a fucking walking hospital. But the Lions, man, the Lions are not gonna fall 2 weeks in a row. Like they have to prove that they are the fucking Lions and that they are supposed to be the best team in the NFC. So the Lions for 5.
Okay. Nazario. No, sorry, Robert.
Seahawks came in last year, week 2, and beat them in overtime. Seahawks have beaten Denver, New England, and a very neutered Miami team. So I have no idea what to think of them. Detroit's got to play a good game at some point, like a complete game, I would hope. And I think this is something to get up for. So I'm picking Detroit for 10 as well. I hate being on with Coho so much. Fucking
right.
Mark.
I want to see it from Detroit first. So for that, I'll take Seattle for 2 points.
Scully.
I'm in the same boat as Mark. I'm taking the Seahawks for 2 points, and it's because of their defense. Jared Goff has not played very well this season. He played poorly in the game. He has played poorly in these dome games that we thought he was going to excel in. He played fairly well against Arizona, but I like what Mike McDonald's been doing with this defense. They've been able to generate a lot of crucial stops on third down. And unless Dan Campbell has more than a few tricks up his sleeve, and if he doesn't want to empty out his arsenal this week, I think Seattle wins it by a thin margin.
Okay. And the last game of the week, the Buffalo Bills going into Baltimore. Baltimore played with their food last week, almost got themselves bit in the ass. They have struggled. They should win. They need to win this game. But I am putting Buffalo by 3 because I think it could be the same thing as Dallas. I thought the Ravens would win. They did, but it could have been either way. Barr and Coho both have Buffalo by 11. So I think that's Monday Night Hype. I think that's a lot of buzz coming off of beating Trevor Lawrence. Going to the bank. I think it's still MT whatever bank stadium. I think it's a different place to play. It's hard. I think the Ravens show up for big games. I don't think Ravens show up for weak games. So I think they'll show up, but I still think Buffalo. I think Josh Allen's got that team firing. So that's my pick. We'll go Scully.
Baltimore has lost their swagger, and they need to get their swagger back. They have not played a complete game this season. They're either slow out of the gate or they falter towards the end and, like you said, play with their food. If you stop for 1 second against this Bills team, Josh Allen will tear you apart. He will absolutely tear you apart. And from the way the Bills were able to stop the run last night, I question how effective Derrick Henry is going to be. Not saying he'll be ineffective, but I question if he's going to be able to be the difference maker he has been these first 3 weeks. So I'm taking the Bills for 7.
Bills by 7. Okay. I put Baltimore down. Thought you were going one way, you didn't. We'll go Nazario.
Josh Allen, MVP. He's gonna keep proving what he's been proving, that he can carry this fucking team whenever he needs to carry them. The Ravens haven't proved that they can be able to be anything other than a mid team. I don't know what is it. And I've never been really that big of a fan of Lamar anyway. So I'm picking the Bills to keep the streak going, and I'm putting 12 on it.
Buffalo by 12. Okay. Mark.
Yeah, Baltimore has been doing a lot of fucking around this season so far. And Buffalo has, historically, the last couple of years, have done that a lot. And they don't really seem to be that team this year. They look like a different Buffalo team. So, yeah, for that reason, give me Buffalo for 12.
I think the problem was Stefan.
I think so, too.
So
and Robert, the biggest Ravens fan I know.
Yeah, I love them. I was trying to remember if Buffalo had played there last year, but they didn't. They have won the last couple. When Nazario said Josh Allen, I thought he said Joe Shallon, and I was like, who the fuck is that?
Yes.
I got lazy ears, and I didn't understand. If the Ravens didn't have the Bengals next week, I would probably be more akin, and they didn't win this game against the Cowboys, so I'd be more akin to pick them. But it's almost a toss-up. I'll take Buffalo for 8. But again, it's just because how the games have played out. I don't like putting that much on it.
All right, we are going to go through and pick everybody's eliminator pick for right now. Mine is the Dallas Cowboys. Hopefully this double fucks them, if anything. But if I win, cool. We will go to Nazario. Who is your pick?
Go big or go home. Packers.
Jesus Christ. Okay. 2-1 versus 3-0. Just confident as shit picking the team. Mark.
Show me that Jets logo.
Oh!
Okay, Robert.
Bengals, I guess.
The Bungles.
I like your logic because even if you're wrong,
The Bengals lose.
Then the Bengals lose. So it's a win-win for you. I see. Coho and Bar will send me theirs, and Scully. Go ahead. You have a 16-pointer out there. Go ahead, drop it.
You know what? Give me the Tennessee Titans.
Whoa! I guess you would, if this lasted a while, you wouldn't need to pick them very often, so that makes sense. All right. Nazari has to go lose a trivia match. That's been our show. This has been fun. That match will take like an hour and a half, so we're trying to get that jump started. Everybody have a great night, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Where's the outro? Oh, here it is. Bye.